Within the hallowed halls of the Benedictine monastery, nestled in the heart of 13th-century France, Brother Thomas grappled with the swirling mists of folklore. The whispers of the villagers often reached these stone walls, tales of grotesque figures perched high above, warding off evil spirits with their stony gaze. These were the gargoyles, silent sentinels of the cathedral, and Brother Thomas sought to understand the truth behind their existence. The common folk saw them as protectors, grotesque guardians against the unseen horrors that lurked in the shadows. Mothers would tell their children that the gargoyles kept the demons at bay, their frightening visages enough to send evil spirits fleeing. But Brother Thomas, a scholar dedicated to truth, questioned these simplistic explanations. Meanwhile, a short distance away at the bustling cathedral construction site, Master Guillaume, a master mason of renowned skill, labored over a new gargoyle. His calloused hands, weathered by years of shaping stone, moved with practiced ease, coaxing life from the unyielding rock. He scoffed at the fanciful notions of the villagers. "Protectors against evil," he'd rumble, his voice as rough as the stone he worked. "Their drains, plain and simple. The cathedral needs them to survive." Brother Thomas observed the placement of the gargoyles, strategically positioned along the roof line. He understood the destructive power of water and the necessity of diverting it away from the delicate stone structure. He knew the gargoyles served as conduits, channeling rainwater away from the walls and foundations. Master Guillaume explained to his apprentices, "Each gargoyle is carefully crafted to direct the flow of water, preventing it from eroding the mortar and weakening the stones. Without them, the cathedral would crumble within decades." Sister Agnes, a teacher at the church, often used the gargoyles as visual aids. "See the miser," she would say, pointing to a gargoyle clutching a bag of coins. "His greed has twisted him into a monstrous form. Let this be a lesson to you all." Brother Thomas began to see the gargoyles not just as functional elements, but as powerful teaching tools. The illiterate masses learned about virtues and vices through the visual language of the stone figures. The selection of animals, mythical creatures, and grotesque figures was often deliberate, intended to convey symbolic messages about good and evil. The increasing complexity and artistry of gargoyle designs coincided with periods of economic prosperity and civic pride. The more elaborate the gargoyles, the more they reflected the wealth and influence of the church and the local community. The stonemasons and sculptors who crafted these gargoyles were skilled artisans who expressed their creativity and beliefs through their work. Master Guillaume often incorporated elements of local folklore and pagan traditions into the designs, blending Christian iconography with pre-Christian beliefs. He felt it gave each gargoyle a unique character, a voice that spoke to the people of the region. Brother Thomas, after weeks of observation and contemplation, began to document his findings. He realized the gargoyles were more than just stone figures. They were a convergence of engineering, education, symbolism, artistic expression, and cultural adaptation. The gargoyles, perched high above, were not merely grotesque guardians or simple drains. They were a reflection of the medieval world, a testament to the ingenuity, faith, and artistry of the people who built these magnificent cathedrals. The truth, Brother Thomas concluded, was far more fascinating than the myths. Brother Thomas wrestled with the intricacies of the cathedral's design. He understood the spiritual and symbolic weight of the building, but the practical engineering aspects were a constant source of fascination. The blueprints before him detailed the gargoyles' precise placement and structure, revealing their crucial role in water drainage. He traced the path of rainwater as it was intended to flow, from the roof, down the sloping sides, and finally, through the outstretched mouth of a gargoyle. The drawings illustrated how the overhang of the gargoyle directed the water away from the cathedral walls, protecting the stonework from erosion. "See here, Brother Thomas," Master Guillaume said, his voice raspy from years of shouting over the construction noise. "The key is the angle, the precise angle of the spout. Too shallow and the water will simply run down the wall. Too steep and it will overshoot its mark, soaking the ground nearby." He explained that the placement of the gargoyles was not arbitrary. It was a careful calculation, taking into account the prevailing winds, the roof's pitch, and the porousness of the local stone. Each gargoyle was strategically positioned to maximize its effectiveness. Brother Thomas observed the areas of the cathedral where gargoyles were not yet installed. He noticed the dampness seeping into the stone, the subtle discoloration caused by years of exposure to rainwater. The evidence was undeniable. Master Guillaume emphasized the importance of a solid foundation. If rainwater were allowed to pool around the base of the cathedral, it would eventually weaken the structure, causing cracks and instability. The gargoyles were essential for diverting this water away from the foundation. Brother Thomas began to appreciate the ingenuity of the design. The gargoyles were not mere decorations. They were integral components of a sophisticated water management system, vital for the preservation of the cathedral. Master Guillaume spoke of the challenges of working with stone, the constant battle against the elements. He explained that the choice of stone was crucial, and the methods of carving and jointing were essential to preventing water from penetrating the structure. Sister Agnes, known for her meticulous scholarship, had also studied the cathedral's plans. She pointed out that the gargoyle's placement corresponded with the location of the roof's gutters and channels, ensuring efficient water collection and dispersal. She emphasized the importance of regular maintenance. The gargoyles had to be kept clear of debris and ice to ensure they functioned properly. Neglect could lead to blockages and damage, undermining the entire system. As the construction progressed, Master Guillaume supervised the installation of each gargoyle with meticulous care. He knew that their longevity and the cathedral's depended on the quality of his work. Brother Thomas now understood that the gargoyles were far more than mere ornaments. They were vital components of a carefully engineered system, essential for the survival of the magnificent cathedral. Their presence was a testament to the ingenuity and skill of the medieval builders, who had mastered the art of working with stone and harnessing the power of nature. Brother Thomas pondered the placement of the gargoyles, their grotesque forms seemingly out of place amidst the soaring arches and divine imagery. He knew Master Guillaume considered their primary function to be drainage, but a nagging feeling persisted that there was more to their purpose. Master Guillaume, ever the pragmatist, viewed the gargoyles first and foremost as essential components of the cathedral's infrastructure. He tirelessly ensured each was perfectly angled to channel rainwater away from the delicate stonework, a task he considered as vital as any prayer. Sister Agnes, ever observant, often visited the construction site. Her knowledge of Scripture and her keen eye for detail allowed her to see beyond the purely functional aspects of the cathedral. "Consider," Sister Agnes began, her voice soft but clear, "the vast majority of our flock cannot read. How then do we teach them the Scriptures, the moral lessons that guide them towards salvation?" Brother Thomas furrowed his brow, a flicker of understanding in his eyes. The gargoyles, they are not merely ornaments but visual sermons. Master Guillaume remained unconvinced, but intrigued. He had carved the figures according to the church's specifications, but he hadn't fully grasped their deeper meaning. Sister Agnes pointed to a gargoyle depicting a grotesque pig-like creature greedily devouring coins. "This," she explained, "represents the sin of avarice, a warning against the dangers of excessive wealth and material possessions." Another gargoyle, a figure entwined by a serpent, its face contorted in agony, served as a stark reminder of the consequences of temptation and deceit. Not all the gargoyles represented vices. Some depicted virtues. A winged figure, reaching towards the heavens, symbolized piety and the pursuit of spiritual enlightenment. Master Guillaume paused before a carving depicting Noah's Ark. He recalled the church's instructions to portray the Great Flood as a symbol of divine punishment and the importance of repentance. Brother Thomas now saw the gargoyles in a new light. They were not just stone figures, but powerful tools for education and moral instruction, accessible to all, regardless of their ability to read. Master Guillaume, although still valuing their practical function, began to consider the gargoyles with a newfound respect. He realized that his craft, like the scriptures, could serve a higher purpose, shaping not just stone, but the very souls of the people. The cathedral, a testament to faith and ambition, was rising stone by stone. Brother Thomas observed how the scale and grandeur of the building reflected not just the church's power, but the collective aspirations of the entire community. Even the gargoyles, seemingly grotesque, played a role in this visual assertion of strength. Master Guillaume, overseeing the placement of a particularly ornate gargoyle, explained how the increasing complexity of the designs coincided with the town's growing prosperity. "Each sculpted detail," he declared, "is a testament to our collective skill and God's favor upon us." Brother Thomas considered the layers of meaning embedded in the stones. The cathedral was more than just a house of worship. It was a symbol of the community's unwavering faith, its economic vitality, and its burgeoning artistic prowess. Sister Agnes witnessed the villagers gazing at the cathedral with a mixture of awe and pride. The gargoyles, perched high above, were integral to this collective sense of ownership and wonder. They were not merely functional or decorative. They were a part of the town's identity. Walking through the village square, Brother Thomas saw how the cathedral dominated the skyline, a constant reminder of the church's presence and the community's shared purpose. The gargoyles, though distant, were still visible, their silent watch a testament to the town's aspirations. Master Guillaume, in his workshop, proudly displayed a newly carved gargoyle that depicted a local legend. He explained that incorporating such elements not only pleased the community, but also reinforced their sense of belonging and cultural identity. Back in the monastery library, Brother Thomas studied the blueprints of the cathedral, paying particular attention to the placement of the gargoyles. He realized that their strategic positioning was not only functional but also symbolic, reinforcing the church's authority and the community's dependence on its wisdom. Sister Agnes used the gargoyles as a teaching tool, explaining to the children the moral lessons embedded in their grotesque forms. The gargoyles, she emphasized, served as a constant reminder of the eternal struggle between good and evil. Master Guillaume oversaw the raising of a particularly large and imposing gargoyle. Its size and intricate design, a clear statement of the church's wealth and the community's collective strength. Standing atop the cathedral, Brother Thomas looked out over the town, a sense of understanding dawning on his face. The gargoyles, he realized, were more than just stone figures. They were a reflection of the community's soul, its aspirations, and its enduring faith. In the monastery garden, Sister Agnes tended to the flowers, finding solace in the beauty of nature and the promise of renewal. The cathedral, with its silent gargoyles, stood as a constant reminder of the enduring power of faith and the collective effort of the community. Kneeling in prayer within the cathedral, Brother Thomas reflected on the multifaceted role of the gargoyles. They were functional, educational, symbolic, and artistic, a testament to the ingenuity and faith of the medieval world, and a reflection of the power and aspirations of the church and the community it served. The sun climbed higher, painting the sky with hues of gold and rose, signaling the start of another day's labor. Brother Thomas watched as Master Guillaume's team of stonemasons prepared for their tasks, the air filled with the rhythmic clang of hammers and chisels. Master Guillaume, ever the pragmatist, addressed his crew. "Today, we focus on the gargoyles. The blocks are ready and the designs are approved. Let's make sure each one is a testament to both function and artistry." Brother Thomas approached Master Guillaume, his curiosity piqued. "Master Guillaume, could you illuminate the process of crafting these guardians?" Master Guillaume gestured towards a half-finished gargoyle. "It begins at the quarry, brother. We select the finest limestone. The stone must be strong yet workable. Then the rough shape is hewn with axes and wedges. The real artistry begins with the chisel." He continued, "We use various chisels, the point for roughing out the form, the claw chisel for finer details, and the flat chisel for smoothing the surface. Each strike must be precise. A mistake can ruin weeks of work." Master Guillaume picked up 2 samples of stone, one lighter than the other. "The stone itself dictates much of what we can achieve. This softer limestone allows for finer details, while the harder variety is more resistant to the elements, though more challenging to carve." Brother Thomas, intrigued, asked, "Does the locality influence the gargoyle's appearance?" Master Guillaume nodded. "Indeed, in Burgundy they favor a creamy limestone which lends itself to elaborate ornamentation. Further north, where harder granite prevails, the forms are simpler, more robust. Each region's gargoyles speak to the land itself." He then described the installation process. "Once carved, the gargoyles are hoisted into place. This is a delicate operation, requiring precision and coordination. They must be securely anchored to the stonework to withstand the elements." As the day drew to a close, Sister Agnes, drawn by the activity, joined Brother Thomas in observing the gargoyles. She mused on the skill and dedication required to create these functional artworks. Brother Thomas, having gained a deeper appreciation for the stonemason's craft, looked at the gargoyles with newfound admiration. They were not merely grotesque figures, but testaments to human ingenuity and artistic expression. Master Guillaume, his face etched with the lines of a life dedicated to stone, surveyed his work. The gargoyles stood sentinel, guardians of stone and symbols of the stonemason's enduring legacy. The library, a sanctuary of knowledge, held more than just Christian texts. Brother Thomas sought to understand the symbols etched into the stones of the land, symbols that predated the cathedral's foundation and the arrival of Christianity itself. He wondered if these ancient beliefs had somehow found their way onto the sacred stones. Master Guillaume, a man of the earth, infused the stone with life. His gargoyles were not always the demons of hellfire sermons. Some, like this green man, whispered of older, earthier powers, of cycles of growth and decay, of a connection to the land that even the church could not fully erase. In the scriptorium, Sister Agnes preserved the written word, a bastion of Christian doctrine. She viewed the inclusion of pagan symbols with caution, a potential dilution of the true faith. To her, the cathedral should be a testament to God, not a repository of old superstitions. Brother Thomas sought out Sister Agnes. He valued her insight, even when it differed from his own. The gargoyles, he believed, were more complex than simple representations of good and evil. They were a reflection of the people, their fears, their hopes, and their lingering connections to the past. "Do you not see the danger, Brother Thomas?" Sister Agnes asked, her voice soft but firm. "These creatures, these echoes of pagan beliefs, risk confusing the faithful. They are a distraction from the true path, from the worship of God." Brother Thomas considered her words. He knew the Church's stance on paganism, yet he also saw the value in understanding the beliefs of the people they sought to serve. "But Sister Agnes," he replied, "is it not possible that these images serve as a bridge, a way to connect with those who still cling to the old ways, to guide them towards the light of Christ by using symbols they already understand?" Master Guillaume approached, overhearing their discussion. "These symbols," he said, gesturing to the Celtic knot, "they are in the blood of the people. My grandfather, he told stories of the old gods, of the spirits that dwelled in the forest. These carvings, they are a way to honor the past while still building for the future." Sister Agnes listened, her initial skepticism giving way to a glimmer of understanding. She realized that the cathedral was not just a house of God, but also a product of the community that built it, a tapestry woven with threads of faith and folklore. Brother Thomas saw the wisdom in Master Guillaume's words. The cathedral, in its very stones, was a testament to the ongoing conversation between the old and the new, between faith and tradition. The gargoyles, in their grotesque beauty, were a part of that conversation. Master Guillaume returned to his work, his hands shaping the stone with a reverence born of both skill and belief. He was not just building a cathedral, he was building a bridge between worlds, a monument to the enduring power of the human spirit. As Brother Thomas and Sister Agnes walked back to the monastery, they carried with them a deeper understanding of the cathedral and the gargoyles that adorned it. They were not just drainage systems or grotesque decorations. They were a reflection of the complex interplay between faith, tradition, and the enduring spirit of the people. In the quiet of the scriptorium, Sister Agnes began to document her insights, acknowledging the subtle, yet powerful influence of pagan echoes in the grand design of the cathedral. The blending of beliefs, she realized, was not necessarily a corruption of faith, but perhaps a testament to its enduring strength and adaptability. Brother Thomas found himself increasingly fascinated by the regional variations in gargoyle design. The differences were subtle yet significant, reflecting the unique character of each region and its artistic traditions. Master Guillaume, a seasoned traveler in his youth, possessed a wealth of knowledge about the diverse building styles across France. His journeys had taken him to various construction sites, each leaving its mark on his understanding of the craft. Brother Thomas sought out Master Guillaume, eager to learn more about these regional variations. He presented the manuscript, its detailed illustrations sparking a lively discussion between the monk and the master mason. "Take the gargoyles of Paris," Master Guillaume began, his voice raspy from years of inhaling stone dust. "They're often more elaborate, reflecting the wealth and influence of the capital, and the stone itself, a finer limestone, allows for greater detail." Brother Thomas nodded, picturing the grand cathedrals of Paris, their facades adorned with intricate carvings and elaborate sculptures. He realized the local materials played a crucial role in shaping the artistic expression. Then there are the gargoyles from the south, Master Guillaume continued, where the Roman influence is still strong. You'll find more classical designs, less of the grotesque, and a greater emphasis on natural forms. Sister Agnes joined them, offering a welcome respite from their scholarly pursuits. The aroma of the herbal tea filled the air, creating a moment of tranquility amidst the bustling construction site. Brother Thomas sipped his tea, reflecting on Master Guillaume's words. He began to see the gargoyles not just as functional elements or symbolic representations, but as a reflection of the very soul of each region. I once traveled to Burgundy, Master Guillaume recalled, his eyes twinkling with the memory, and there I saw gargoyles crafted from glazed terracotta, shining like jewels in the sun, a technique unique to that region. Sister Agnes listened, captivated by Master Guillaume's tales of faraway places and unique artistic expressions. She realized the world was far broader and more diverse than the confines of their monastery. Master Guillaume and Sister Agnes watched as Brother Thomas walked towards the monastery, the setting sun painting the sky in hues of orange and gold. They shared a knowing glance, their hearts filled with a newfound appreciation for the intricate artistry and cultural significance of the gargoyles that adorned their cathedral. The year of our Lord 1348 brought with it a darkness unlike any Brother Thomas had ever known. Whispers of a pestilence, a black death had arrived, carried on ships from distant lands, and now gripped the villages surrounding the monastery. The air was thick with fear and the stench of sickness. Master Guillaume gathered the remaining masons. The once bustling site was now eerily quiet. Fear had thinned their ranks, and the relentless march of the plague had begun to claim its victims among them. The rhythmic clang of hammers and chisels had been replaced by an unnerving silence. Brother Thomas, along with his fellow monks, tirelessly ministered to the sick, offering comfort and prayers. The pestilence paid no heed to piety or station, striking down rich and poor alike. Each day brought news of more deaths, more families ravaged by the relentless disease. Master Guillaume stood before the incomplete cathedral, his heart heavy with sorrow. The grand vision, the testament to faith and community, seemed to mock him in its unfinished state. The work had ground to a halt. Skilled masons, men who had dedicated their lives to the craft, were now gone, their tools lying idle. Sister Agnes dedicated herself to caring for the afflicted, her gentle hands soothing fevered brows and offering what little comfort she could. The monastery had become a refuge, a place of solace amidst the widespread suffering. The sisters worked tirelessly, their faith unwavering. Brother Thomas sought solace in prayer, wrestling with questions of faith and mortality. The gargoyles, those silent sentinels perched atop the cathedral, seemed to watch him with knowing eyes. He wondered if they, too, were symbols of this dark time, grotesque reflections of a world consumed by suffering. Master Guillaume, grief-stricken by the loss of his skilled team, found himself alone in his workshop. The half-finished gargoyles seemed to stare back at him, their grotesque forms now bearing a new, more somber meaning. He questioned whether he would ever see the cathedral completed. Sister Agnes continued to offer spiritual guidance and solace to the frightened villagers. She read stories of faith and resilience, reminding them that even in the darkest of times, hope remained. The monastery became a beacon of light in a world shrouded in despair. Brother Thomas wandered through the silent cathedral construction site, the half-finished gargoyles casting long, eerie shadows in the moonlight. He pondered the fragility of human endeavors, the fleeting nature of life. The plague had brought a stark awareness of mortality. As the worst of the plague began to subside, a slow, tentative hope began to dawn. Master Guillaume, though scarred by loss, felt a renewed sense of purpose. He picked up his tools, the familiar weight grounding him, and began to sharpen his chisels. The cathedral, he resolved, would be completed. Brother Thomas watched as the first new stone was laid upon the cathedral, a symbol of resilience and rebirth. The work would be slow, painstaking, but the spirit of the community had not been broken. The gargoyles, he now realized, were not just symbols of evil, but also testaments to the enduring strength of the human spirit in the face of adversity. The Black Death had left an indelible mark, but it had also revealed the depth of human compassion and the unwavering power of faith. As life slowly returned to normal, Sister Agnes watched children playing near the cathedral, their laughter echoing through the air. The gargoyles, silent witnesses to the tragedy, now seemed to smile down upon them, guardians of a community reborn. The pestilence had receded, leaving scars upon the land and in the hearts of men, but life stubbornly persisted. Brother Thomas, now a little older, a little more worn, sat in the scriptorium, reviewing his work. The gargoyles, he realized, were more than mere stone. They were a testament to human ingenuity and enduring faith. Master Guillaume surveyed his latest creation. Years of experience had honed his skill, allowing him to imbue the stone with both artistry and function. He saw the gargoyle not just as a drain, but as a guardian, a teacher, a symbol of the cathedral's strength. Together, Brother Thomas and Master Guillaume walked through the cathedral. The gargoyle, Guillaume explained, is not just a guardian against water, but against ignorance. It reminds us of the darkness we must overcome. Brother Thomas nodded, understanding the multi-layered meaning. In the village schoolhouse, Sister Agnes used the image of the gargoyle to teach the children about virtue and vice. The grotesque figures, once frightening, became relatable symbols, helping them understand complex moral concepts. Master Guillaume, knowing his time was limited, focused on passing on his knowledge. He brought his young apprentice to the quarry, showing him how to read the stone, to feel its potential, to unlock the figure hidden within. The stone, Guillaume instructed, striking the chisel with practiced ease, must be treated with respect. It resists, but it also yields. Find the balance and you will find the form. The apprentice watched, absorbing every detail. Brother Thomas visited the workshop, observing the apprentice's progress. The young man's face was set in concentration, his brow furrowed as he wrestled with the stone. He was learning not just a trade, but a craft, an art, a way of seeing the world. The day came when the apprentice's gargoyle was ready. It was not as grand as Master Guillaume's, but it was his own. As it was lifted into place, Brother Thomas felt a sense of hope. The legacy would continue. As the rain began to fall, Brother Thomas watched the gargoyles do their work. They were engineers, educators, symbols, art. They were a reflection of the medieval world, and they would endure. Master Guillaume placed a hand on the young apprentice's shoulder, a rare smile gracing his lips. He knew he had imparted more than just skill. He had passed on a passion, a connection to the stone, to the cathedral, to the very soul of the community. Sister Agnes, with her delicate touch, finalized the illustrations for Brother Thomas's manuscript, ensuring that the legacy of the gargoyles would be preserved not just in stone, but in word and image, for generations to come. From the highest point of the cathedral, Brother Thomas looked out over the land. The gargoyles stood silently, watching over the community, their purpose fulfilled. They were a legacy in stone, enduring reminders of faith, ingenuity, and the enduring power of the human spirit. Brother Thomas continued his work, determined to distill his observations into a cohesive understanding of the gargoyles' true purpose, a purpose that extended far beyond mere ornamentation. He explained to Sister Agnes, "They are not mere decorations, sister. They are integral to the very survival of this sacred space." Sister Agnes, ever perceptive, adjusted her spectacles and observed, "So their purpose is more than just to frighten away evil." "Indeed, sister. They are guardians of knowledge, protectors of structure, and reflections of the soul of our community." Master Guillaume, ever practical, saw them as a testament to human ingenuity. "We shape the stone, but the stone also shapes us," he often said. In his writings, Brother Thomas detailed his observations. The grotesque forms serve not just as water spouts, but as reminders of the sins we must avoid. Each creature, each beast, tells a story, a lesson for those who cannot read the written word. Master Guillaume emphasized the artistry. Each gargoyle is unique, a testament to the skill and imagination of the craftsman. The blending of Christian and pagan imagery fascinated Brother Thomas. They reflect the complex tapestry of our beliefs, the old ways intertwined with the new faith. Sister Agnes, with her artistic eye, captured the essence of each gargoyle in her sketches. They are a mirror to our souls, reflecting both our fears and our aspirations. Brother Thomas finished his writings, concluding that the gargoyles represented the complexities of medieval society. They are not merely stone, but a testament to human ingenuity, faith, and the enduring power of symbolism.